Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. So, our next speaker is Mr. Abhijit Anand, and he is going to tell about the global best practice of clean energy system. So, mic is delivered to the Mr. Abhijit Anand.
Welcome back. Yeah, this session is about the global best practices on clean energy systems. We will see some videos from all across the world in the clean energy system section, and we will see how the world is moving towards the renewable energy from fossil fuel energy. First of all, why we do need clean energy systems? See, since the beginning of civilization and after the industrial revolution in the beginning of 19th century, there have been a lot of advancement in the lifestyle in the terms of materialistic possessions, and which came with the cost of environment. We have polluted our environment on such a level that we are facing extreme weather conditions, global warming, and global increase in the temperature. And there are various ecological footprints, and due to which we are losing our biodiversity. Let us see this video, and which will show you why we need clean energy systems, which is the foremost requirement of our human civilization.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit. Okay.
Is it audible?
With the beginning of industrialization, a new age of opportunities began. We started to produce more and better products than at any point before in human history. We discovered electricity and harvested nature's resources to help us improve our cities and production facilities. But as everything in life, the advancement came with a cost. The rapid improvements in the fields of mass production and technical advancements took its toll on the environment as well as life on Earth. More production means more energy consumption. More energy consumption means more demand for resources, which in turn leads to more waste. But it's not too late to escape the vicious circle and ensure that our technical advancements do not turn against us. Through the adoption of energy-efficient measures, overall industrial energy consumption can be cut by 25%, while global CO2 emissions can decrease by 12.4% by the year 2030. This will lead to a cut of 8% of the total global energy use. One solution for improving our environmental footprint is through the implementation of a circular economy. Less energy use will lead to reduced material losses, reduced solid waste, and a decrease of our water use. This will not only help the environment, but help us also improve production capacities and competitiveness. UNIDO's goal of achieving inclusive and sustainable industrial development is explicitly recognized and anchored within the 2030 Agenda. In particular, Sustainable Development Goal 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. At the same time, UNIDO contributes to the achievement of various other SDGs, such as SDG 7, Affordable and Clean Energy. UNIDO's services in safeguarding the environment include the promotion of sustainable waste management, national cleaner production centres, smart cities and eco-industrial parks where the waste of one company becomes the resource for another. UNIDO's energy strategy is built around these areas: industrial energy efficiency, renewable energy as well as climate policy and networks. Over the years, we have implemented projects all over the world, projects which promote the achievement of inclusive and sustainable industrial development as enshrined in
Yeah. See, now we have understood that renewable energy systems are the need of the hour to save our earth for the human civilization and to produce clean energy for our advancement. As per the record, about 25% of world energy consumption came from renewable energy sources in 2018. China, USA, Brazil, India, Germany, and Japan are the global leaders in producing renewable energy. However, India, USA, Brazil, China are also the global leaders in the energy consumptions. On the other hand, Iceland, Denmark, Germany, Sweden, Finland, which are the European countries, they have the largest per capita renewable energy power capacity, and they produce almost 75% of their energy consumption from renewable sources. Whenever we think about renewable energy, solar is the foremost energy source which comes to our mind. There is a fact about the solar energy: we receive more energy in 1 hour from sun, which is more than sufficient for human civilization to consume in 1 year. That means solar energy has enormous potential to provide energy for our human civilization, and if we could tap it in a proper manner, so it would be very beneficial for our human society, and we don't need to rely on fossil fuels for our energy needs. There are various projects worldwide is going on solar energy. Let us go and check one such project going on in India, and this is termed as largest solar based project in the world.
किसान को गेटेड बोला
रंग बदल ले टमाटर फटाफट लाल बना ले
More and more countries of the world are
अगर कोई
beginning to use
गिरगिट की कसम-
alternative energy sources, including solar. As We live at such a time when the threat of global hunger does not manifest itself in any way. More and more countries of the world are beginning to use alternative energy sources, including solar. As a result, modest rooftop panels are being replaced by solar farms spread over vast areas. The largest solar power plant in the world, Benben Solar Park, is located in Egypt, covers an area of 37 square kilometers, and generates a capacity of 1,650 megawatts. In third place is Shakti Sthala, located in the city of Pavagada in India. Its area is 50 square kilometers and has a capacity of about 2,000 megawatts. The second is the Chinese Hainan Solar Park. It consists of 672 photovoltaic arrays and produces 2,200 megawatts. What is the largest solar power plant in the world and how is it arranged? Watch our video. The harsh midday sun illuminates a small dusty village in Gujarat, Western India. Lines of blue solar panels on steel substructures rise to the horizon. Panels cover the top of the irrigation canals, sparkling like iridescent mirrors. This small village of 40 thatch-walled, tin-roofed houses with clumsy cows that go around was one of the many rural communities in India that had no electricity until recently. But now a lamp is lit in every house so that the children can study in the evening and the farmers can milk the cows long after sunset. Until recently, India, being one of the largest consumers of coal in the world, could not provide its entire population with electricity. At the same time, due to emissions from power plants, the environmental situation in some regions has deteriorated significantly. The problem urgently needed a solution, and in 2017, India overtook Japan to become the third largest supplier of solar energy after China and the United States. This breakthrough was fueled by declining prices for solar panels and government energy programs. However, several problems stand in the way of ambitious projects. The first and foremost is, most definitely, the land. Buying land in India, where the population density is 464 people per square kilometer, involves a lot of formalities. The land here is expensive enough and often has many owners. In addition, local farmers are not eager to lose their earnings by selling their plots to the government. To get around this obstacle, a rental program was offered to local residents. According to it, it has become more profitable to lease a plot to the state and receive regular payments than to engage in agriculture. But as the country moves to green energy, it becomes necessary to modernize existing energy complexes. And solar energy has a big drawback. Electricity is generated only in sunny weather. Also, to eliminate fossil fuels altogether, you need to find inexpensive ways to store energy. But since the number of sunny days per year in India reaches almost 300, this country has some of the best conditions in the world for capturing and using the sun's rays. Installed capacity in India has grown by about 10 times to 32 gigawatts over the past 5 years, and the government hopes to triple this figure in the coming years. The country is setting ambitious targets, notably to ensure the production of 450 gigawatts of wind and solar power by 2030. From all indications, India will be able to fulfill the task. There are now 43 photovoltaic power plants operating in the country, capable of generating power above 10 megawatts. Built in 2020 in the Jodhpur region of India, Badla Solar Park has become the largest solar park in the world. The plant was built in several stages. The first stage was completed in 2016. It took 8 months to implement it. The capacity of the solar park was then about 550 megawatts. The number of solar panels was constantly increasing, intensifying the capacity of the park by half a gigawatt per year. The main obstacle at the first level to achieving production goals was the incessant sand dunes with a windward side of 15 to 20 degrees and a constantly crumbling leeward side common to the area. Planting the mounting structures for the modules in such a landscape was an extremely challenging task, requiring careful creative design and specific operating skills. It should also be noted that extreme heat is one of the prominent features of the Rajasthan state. This region is considered to be almost uninhabitable due to its tropical climate. Average temperatures in Badla range from 46 to 48 degrees Celsius, with frequent hot winds and sandstorms. The nearest housing is the village of Bap, located about 50 kilometers from the station. and the nearest urban area called Palodi is 80 kilometers away. This greatly complicates the operation of the station, specifically the maintenance of solar panels. But despite all this, in 2020, the nominal capacity of the Bhadla power plant was 2,245 megawatts, and it confidently took the first line in the world ranking. The area of this solar electric park is impressive, 57 square kilometers. While 2,000 megawatts of power are enough to power 700,000 homes, virtually all of the electricity generated here is not used in the area. It goes to neighboring regions in India where there is an energy shortage. Bhadla is an important economic project for Rajasthan, as most of the inhabitants of the coastal villages work on the power plant. By 2022, India aims to provide electricity to 60 million households via the production of 100 gigawatts of solar energy. Most likely in a few years, the Bhadla solar park will have to give up world leadership. In December 2020, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the start of a new project. India's state-owned energy company has received approval from the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy to build a 4,075 megawatt solar park in Gujarat. The solar power plant will be located in the Thar Desert. It will become part of the hybrid renewable energy park with a total capacity of 30,000 megawatts. This means that the inhabitants of the country will have access to a comfortable modern life, and the economy will be a stable and cheap resource. The country's authorities have already developed serious measures to develop the economy and revitalize industry. The plans include a large-scale modernization of the internal infrastructure, roads, ports, airports, the growth of the construction and automotive industries, an increase in the production of household appliances, and housing construction, especially in rural areas. The implementation of these plans will undoubtedly raise the average standard of living of ordinary citizens and provide them with basic comfortable conditions. The opportunity to study at any time of the day, the smooth operation of small farms and enterprises, the availability of technical devices in everyday life and at the workplace. In a nutshell, all the benefits which residents of developed countries do not need to worry about. How many years do you think it will take for the world to fully switch to renewable?
Okay, now we have understood the various aspects of any solar energy system. The most challenging is that the land acquisition is required for solar energy systems. A vast area is required for putting up any solar grid, and for that land acquisition is the foremost requirement. Okay, along with solar energy, wind energy is also gaining momentum in the present scenario, where the world is moving towards wind energy systems. But wind energy system have advantage only to those areas which have coastal line and having constantly wind blowing in that area. Let us go to this video and see.
बिलीव मी दुनिया की सबसे खूबसूरत जगह है। हमारी तो नजरें ही नहीं उठती थी। इसे देखो आंटी। अरे जो भी कहो, लड़की अच्छी है, जो आपको पसंद हो और फैमिली को भी। जीवनसाथी.com।
Sabia que pode comprar energia que a sua empresa utiliza de forma direta?
It is not visible for us.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that oil would become the most powerful impetus for the development of wind energy in the 20th century? More precisely, the oil embargo imposed by the 5 OPEC Arab member states and Iran against the countries that supported Israel in the 1973 Yom Kippur War. Among them were the USA, Japan, Canada, and several other countries. The ensuing oil crisis forced the world to look at renewable energy sources, in particular wind energy, in a new way. Two years after the start of the oil crisis in the United States, the first wind farm was launched, which was able to provide electricity to 4,000 homes. 15 years later, in 1990, 46 wind farms were already operating in the United States. Today, more than 1,500 wind turbines power 38 million homes across America. Despite the impressive successes of the Americans in this area, so far no one can compare with China, neither in the number of wind energy facilities nor in the pace of their construction. Within 15 years, the Chinese have managed to build hundreds of wind farms practically from scratch, which now produce twice as much electricity as generated in the United States. Since 2009, the largest wind power complex in the world, Gansu, has been operating in China. 7,000 wind turbines are located in the north of the country along the lifeless but very windy Gobi Desert. Soon, their capacity is planned to be increased to 20 gigawatts, which will be almost 2.5 times higher than the capacity of the largest nuclear power plant in the world in the Japanese city of Fukushima. However, not everything related to wind energy should be assessed with a plus sign. Despite the environmental friendliness of this method of generating electricity, the fields of wind turbines cause some concern among experts from various fields. In their arguments, they cite a significant level of mechanical and aerodynamic noise in the immediate vicinity of large installations, a threat to migratory birds and bats due to the movement of the blades, interference in the reception of radio signals, the difficulty of repairing large elements, and even the impact on the climate due to the slowing down of air masses. All these disadvantages can be eliminated by using a new type of wind turbine that works without blades, since they convert the kinetic energy of the wind directly into electricity, bypassing the stage of mechanical conversion. The first concept of a bladeless wind turbine was developed in 2013 by a research group at the Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands, in cooperation with the Mecanoo Architectural Company. The development team has designed the Uicon electrostatic wind energy converter, which has no moving mechanical parts. Due to the absence of blades, this design is devoid of the main disadvantages of classic wind turbines. It does not create noise, does not break, does not cast shadows, and does not threaten birds and bats. Visibly, Uicon resembles a large tennis racket with a short handle. Inside the frame is a grid with horizontal insulated tubes, each of which contains several electrodes. From a mesh tube, negative electrode, the system sprinkles positively charged water particles into the air. Falling into wind streams, the droplets are carried towards the positive mesh electrode, which captures positive charges. This creates a potential difference, which in turn generates electricity. In this case, the amount of energy received depends on the number of water droplets, the charge of the droplets, the wind speed, and the strength of the electric field. The wind turbines of a new type really surpass classical wind turbines in parameters such as the absence of noise and moving elements. The only weak link in such a system is water sources. However, this problem can be easily solved by installing rainwater storage tanks near wind turbines. The idea of the Uicon wind turbine, presented in 2013, quickly found continuation in the Netherlands. In 2015, a 174-meter wind wheel multifunctional complex in the form of 2 rings of glass and steel project was presented in Rotterdam. According to the architect's idea, the outer ring is rotating and consists of 40 roller coaster cabins, and the inner ring is the body of the building, which can accommodate 72 apartments, a hotel with 160 rooms, a panoramic restaurant, and a sky lobby. At the same time, the space inside the rings can act as a bladeless wind generator created using the Uicon technology. For the Netherlands, which is famous all over the world for its mills and strong architectural background, the Windwheel project is a landmark. This building has every chance to become not only a new recognizable symbol of Rotterdam, but also the most innovative windmill in the world. The wind generator located in the very center of the building will in no way disturb the peace of the residents and guests of the hotel. The Dutch wind turbine, like its prototype Uicon, does not need any moving parts to generate electricity. Instead, a combination of wind and water will be used, which are always abundant in rainy and windy Rotterdam. It is imperative that in search of new ways to use wind energy, researchers do not get stuck on one idea, but find completely different approaches. An innovative method of generating clean electricity developed by the Vortex bladeless Spanish company can be a worthy alternative to the Uicon project. A team of engineers offer the world's Skybraiders turbines that don't need blades, tall masts, or strong winds. The device is a resonant wind turbine that causes vortex vibration. It may sound confusing, but in reality, it's not that complicated. The Skybraiders turbine consists of an outer cylinder that is securely fixed only at the base. Under the action of air currents, the upper part of the cylinder freely sways from side to side like an antenna in the wind. At the same time, when the wind passes through the pillar, around it, according to the laws of aerodynamics, air vortices are formed, circular vortex flows. As soon as their frequency is compared with the frequency of the cylinder, the installation begins to interact with the wind. A generator at the base of the cylinder captures these mechanical vibrations and converts them into electrical energy. The structure is built using carbon and fiberglass reinforced polymers, as well as the strong and lightweight materials used in usual wind turbine blades. Thanks to this, the structure remains stable against constant vibrations and does not deform. The mesh geometry is designed to provide maximum performance at average wind speeds, and the compactness of such an installation allows you to install entire fields of wind generators at a minimum distance from each other, which is absolutely impossible in the case of classic wind turbines with blades. Moreover, Skybraiders located opposite each other receive even more energy than single installations, as they use vortex flows from neighboring installations. Even though the prototype is designed for the production of small amounts of electricity for home use, the Vortex bladeless company plans to introduce an industrial type of Skybraiders wind generators up to 140 meters in height, with a capacity of up to 1 megawatt. Over the past half-century, wind power has made a rapid leap forward, catching up and already surpassing nuclear power. The success of China, Europe, and the United States in this industry shows that the global goal of moving to renewable energy sources is getting closer. In your opinion, will it be possible to minimize the impact of wind turbines on the environment? Will we be able to abandon blade?
Yeah, now we have seen that the problems with wind energy system by the blade which was causing main problems and having a significant environmental concerns. Now these concerns could be overcome with the bladeless wind turbines and Skybraiders wind turbines. Now, moving to the next section, hydroelectric and tidal energy systems. Tides are produced when the earth having gravitational interaction with sun and the moon. These tidal have a great energy potential which can be converted into electricity if utilized properly. At the same time, the water running down from the hills also have a potential energy and which gains into the kinetic energy as it comes down to the hill. So capturing these energy and can be converted into electrical energy. However, there are problems with the large hydroelectric projects in the terms of seismic activity. That means large hydroelectric projects cannot be installed in the area of high seismic activity zones. So nowadays, small hydroelectric projects are taking forward and they have a significant impact in our society. Now we are going to see what are the small hydroelectric projects which can be installed at a individual level to produce electricity and become independent from the central grid. Let us have a look on this video.
What does all this even do?
Don't push my buttons, Colin.
I'm sorry, all right.
In this section, they are installing a large turbine for utilizing the energy having the sea tides. These are the electrostatic generators which generates electricity when these blades cause a movement in this ring and due to the tides. This is a small hydro system which is going to be installed on a water body, running water body, that is canal, and which will be used for generating electricity. This is also an electricity generating system which is capturing the tidal energy and converting it into the electricity. This is a small hydroelectric plant installed on a small canal. In this video, the kinetic energy of this river is being utilized for producing electricity with the help of a motor and wheel. This is one of the most innovative system to along with the environment for producing electricity from run of the river or running water. This is such an efficient electricity production system. It even take care of the fish passing through it. This is a water rotor. When water flows over the wings of this water rotor, electricity is produced, and this is one of the most finest innovation for the small hydroelectricity. This water rotor is even such an one of the most efficient innovation that it even take care of the marine life. Okay. Now coming to the next one is geothermal energy. Yeah. Geothermal energy is the energy which is coming out from the Earth's core to the surface in the form of water vapor. In fact, this geothermal energy arises from the tectonic activity, and when the water trapped inside the Earth crust is coming into the contact of the Earth's heat, which is at the core, then it vaporizes and comes out of the surface. There are certain places in the on the Earth's surface where are geysers and the which produces geothermal energy, and that geysers produces water vapor which is utilized for the producing geothermal energy by capturing it with a suitable technology. USA, Indonesia, Philippines, Mexico, and Italy are the world leaders in producing geothermal energy. Let us go and see the functioning of largest geothermal power plant in the world, which is in Philippines.
It is of geothermal science. This is the world's largest wet steam field geothermal power facility in the world, sprawled over an area more than 100,000 hectares, producing over 701 megawatts of clean energy. Home to many technological breakthroughs, a geothermal titan, both in green energy generation and engineering achievement. This is the Energy Development Corporation's Leyte Geothermal Power Complex, the Geothermal Titan. The Leyte Geothermal Power Complex is located in the Philippines, along the geothermal-rich Pacific Rim of Fire. It sits on the borders of Ormoc City and the Cananga municipality in the region of Leyte, where there is plentiful resource. Going back to the 1970s, it was envisioned as a long-term solution to the energy crisis. To bring this titan to life, world-class engineering led the way. Engineering fit only for the world's largest wet steam field. Ours is a showcase to many groundbreaking homegrown innovations that became the benchmark in the industry. Our pioneering geoscientists were the first to delineate the underground reservoirs that sparked the power of steam in Leyte. We piloted the 3-megawatt Tongonan power plant, making us the first to operate a commercially viable steam field in the Visayas. We developed new ways on how to explore, develop, produce, and manage entire geothermal systems. We pioneered the design and use of topping and bottoming plants that optimize power plant output. We are the first to test a vertical discharge diffuser that allows prolonged well discharge testing but protects the surrounding environs. And the first to demonstrate that geothermal is most compatible with environmental preservation through our pioneering work in environmental impact assessment. Today, Leyte Geothermal Power Complex supplies 37% of the Philippines' total geothermal installed capacity. We designed and built the Steamline Interconnection, a pipeline superhighway, the first of its kind in the world. It runs 96 kilometers long, allowing flexible management of our steam resources from different production fields to our power-generating assets. A wonder of a vital installation that cradles the most number of power plants in the world. 232.5 megawatt Malitbog, 180 megawatt Mahanagdong A and B, 125 megawatt Upper Mahiao, 112.5 megawatt Tongonan 1. From the island of Leyte, submarine high-voltage direct current links spread across the National Electric Highway, spanning Samar, Cebu, Negros Island, Panay, and Luzon. Delivering an alternative supply to thousands of households and major industries in the South, making it as the virtual linchpin in the National Electric Highway. The cycle of infinity drives our ultimate vision of becoming a true world leader in renewable energy. We believe that clean, green, sustainable energy is the way to move forward. This is our way of doing business, a holistic approach, our way of life. Our recycling process follows the natural cycle of reservoir replenishing. Using injection technology, we are able to maintain the resource integrity of our steam fields for more than 25 years now. We can do this because we are also stewards of Leyte's precious watershed systems, taking care of more than 100,000 hectares of a reservation that sustain our business and the diverse ecosystems around us. We implement extensive and sustained biodiversity monitoring to ensure that we coexist harmoniously with forest and fauna. And through the Binhi Reforestation Program, we are actively bringing back prime endangered indigenous trees to our forests and to our host communities and nearby cities. The people around our sites become partners in our success, and
in this way, we can see that geothermal energy systems are the most efficient and the most environment friendly systems for the electricity production in the world. Yeah. Now coming to the next one, biomass energy system. Biomass energy system is the last one in this presentation, but not the least one. Biomass energy systems are believed to be the replacement for the coal-based energy systems. One of the most prominent reason to believe in this biomass energy system is that the CO2 released due to the biomass burning into the atmosphere is believed to be taken by the crop in the next cropping cycle. That means making the crop based or biomass based energy system carbon neutral. Okay, at the present time, USA and European Union countries are the world leaders in tapping biomass energy, but this biomass energy system is quickly followed by other countries in Southeast Asia, Europe and South America. Let us go and watch this video, which is depicting the biomass energy system.
Hello there, I'm Colin Furs, and this is Dashboard Chat.
The vehicles would talk to.
This video is brought to you by all my great patrons at patreon.com/MattFarrell. We have a world population expected to grow by 1.2 billion people within 15 years, coupled with a growing demand for meat, eggs, and dairy, which soak up over 70% of
Sleaford Renewable Energy Plant has been called by the Prime Minister an example of the future of UK energy generation. It receives support from the Renewables Obligation and in return provides environmental and social benefits for its community and to the country. Producing electricity in the UK using renewable energy sources has two key benefits. It reduces the environmental impacts of power generation and it contributes to the mitigation of climate change. And also, it provides energy security for the UK by reducing our reliance on imported coal and gas to help produce power. In recent years, with the narrowing of capacity margins, energy security has increased in importance, which is why the government supports alternative power generation projects like this. The plant produces power by burning straw biomass fuel. Straw as a fuel source is regarded as being net carbon neutral. Whilst the burning process releases gaseous emissions, it only releases the same amount of those gases which the straw absorbs in the first place whilst growing. This is why it is called net carbon neutral. Glenmont Partners, the investment company behind the project, is one of Europe's largest renewable energy fund managers. Out of all the renewable energy options, such as wind, solar and biomass, the key attraction of biomass is its ability to produce baseload power. The output of solar and wind projects vary depending on the weather. The burning of straw biomass, on the other hand, as is the case at Sleaford, provides a consistent and stable supply of power. The straw that is used as fuel is a waste from the production of wheat, meaning that Sleaford's fuel procurement does not compete with the production of food, but is complementary to it. To ensure a consistent supply of fuel to the plant, it has long-term contracts with a number of local farmers to produce all of the straw it needs. This includes strategic extra stock to guard against any unexpected supply problems. The consistency of the plant's power output is reflected in the returns earned for the project's investors, ensuring steady, predictable cash yield for the full life of the project and a very attractive rate of return. A key value of the plant is that all straw is sourced within a 50-mile radius. This keeps fuel usage and cost down. It minimises the environmental impact of traffic and it helps fund the local economy. Even when one considers the harvesting and transport processes, Sleaford's emissions are a fraction of what can be expected from conventional power, or even from many biomass projects that utilise imported fuel. The plant itself produces 38.5 megawatts of electricity, which is enough to power 65,000 homes constantly. And when commissioned, it was the largest biomass plant ever built in England and Wales. The plant needs 1,000 bales of straw a day, which arrive by truck. Once at the plant, the bales are unloaded automatically across 4 lanes with marked efficiency. Every single bale undergoes a quality control check to assess its moisture content. Bales are rejected if they have too much moisture to ensure safety of handling and to maintain consistent boiler operation. The storage barns hold enough stock for 3 days' operation. When the straw bales are transferred from storage, they are shredded as they fall into the furnace. The furnace is responsible for powering the pressurized steam turbine generator, which in turn produces electricity. The government has strict anti-pollution regulations, which the plant fully adheres to. Flue gases from the furnace are put through a treatment system which removes ash and various gaseous emissions. Rather than being dumped, recovered ash is recycled and sold on, providing another revenue stream for the plant. Ash recovered from the flue gases is used for crop fertilizer, and the heavier wet material is later used as an aggregate replacement. The plant has created 30 full-time local jobs, as well as a further 50 in the plant's supply chain. Fuel purchasing provides a total of £5.6 million a year for the local economy. As part of the plant's social and community undertakings, it provides free heat to Sleaford School, Sports Centre, Bowling Green and council offices. In addition, the plant provides local apprenticeships, £285,000 worth of community project funding and the planting of 5,000 hectares of trees, shrubs and grassland to ultimately shield the plant from public view. To find out more about this project and others from Glenmont Partners portfolio, visit glenmont.com.
We have seen that how the biomass can be a alternative for coal in the present coal-based energy systems. However, biomass have a problem of fouling and slagging during combustion in the combustion chamber and creating problems in the boiler. However, this biomass can be converted into biochar and can be used as fuel in coal-based power plants, and biochar is considered as more improvised form of fuel in comparison with biomass, because biochar does not have any tar which is creating falling in during the biomass combustion. In the later stage, we will be seeing how crop residue waste biochar can be utilized as fuel in thermal power plants and can be utilized as a means to carbon sequestration. Thank you. If any question, you can ask now.
Thank you, Mr. Abhijit Anand. This is a very great presentation. We have learned so many new things about the renewable energy sector, which is going globally. And I would like to thank every participant for joining us today. And this is the end of the session. And we will resume at 9:30 tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I'm open to questions. If you have any question, you can ask.
All right. Good morning, afternoon. Thank you very much for your presentation, Doctor. And the presentation of a wide range of technologies, pretty impressive. In your inception slides, you mentioned of 25% renewable energies being used by developed countries. Do you, by any chance, know how much of it is constitutes nuclear energy as a renewable energy source as well? From the 25% in developed countries, how much of it comes from nuclear?
By International Energy Agency that 25% of world energy consumption came from renewable energy sources in 2018. Yeah.
So how much of it could constitute nuclear energy source?
Sorry, I could not get your question.
From the 25%,
yeah,
being obviously it's a composition of solar, hydro, wind, and other likes. But I want to believe it also constitutes nuclear energy?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, I don't have that data right now. I will share with you.
No problem. That's fine. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Any other question?
And sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thank you for the presentation. I was so marveled with the performance of India in terms of solar photovoltaic system. Please, what I just need is that do you have any of the website or people that are in charge? Because presently I'm trying to research about the grid connected solar system.
Oh, sorry, your voice is breaking. I could not get your question. Can you write it in chat box?
Okay, all right, I will do that. Thank you.
Any other question?
Yes, if I may.
Yes.
So the videos that you displayed on various renewable energy technologies from solar plates, solar blades, turbines, and all those likes. My observation is it appears few, or rather, can I assume that the majority of those technologies are still at testing phase? and they have not yet been industrialized as compared to the common and widely used solar plates.
Yeah, all those videos I have shown in this presentation, the solar technology is widely implemented, and the bladeless bin technology is still at the demonstration phase and is planned for industrial applications. And geothermal energy systems are already used in Philippines, Italy, USA, Kenya, in Africa, in all those countries which are having geothermal energy resource. And the biomass technology is widely utilized in USA and European countries, and it is also being adopted in third world countries, including Southeast Asia, Middle East, and African countries. That's all. And the small innovations based on the small thermal hydrothermal power plants are being implemented and already tested at a small scale, be it canal and irrigation systems and small river, etc.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Can you please give your full name so that we can mark your attendance? In fact, I have personally messaged you also.
You mean mine or everybody?
Yeah, yours.
All right.
You can answer in chat box also. Thank
Sure,
you.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah. Any other question? Thank you so much. Any other question? Okay, now we will end today, and we will reassemble tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. from India time for the next session. So for that, bye-bye and take care.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Yep, thank you too.